All right, guys, here we are. It's Monday. We're still kind of living in this, online virtual learning world. So thanks for all joining me, being on time and such. All right, here's our agenda for today. We're going to have our quote. We'll check in. We're going to review our homework, and then we're going to finish answering comprehension questions for our colonialism packet. All right. So we have this quote. Does anybody want to read this quote for us? Anyone want to read? All right, that's cool. I mean, I can read it. It essentially says, if lessons of history teach us anything, it's that nobody learns the lessons that history teaches us, right? And this quote boils down to, the things that happen in history, right? The lessons that go on, that happen, historical events throughout the world, right? If they teach us anything, it's that we don't really learn from history, right? Like as a society, we repeat a lot of the same mistakes that we've made in the past. And that's essentially what this is saying. All right, next, we're gonna do a check-in, roll call. How y'all doing? All right, I'm starting with Liana. Liana, how are you doing? Do you need anything?
No, I saw 2 turkeys and another turkey for the Friday and Sunday. The female grown so huge.
All right, awesome. That's great news. And do you need anything, Liana? Are you all good?
I'm done with my history homework and my bio homework, my edulastic homework, the one that said 3 to 27, I think.
All right, awesome. That's great to hear. All right. All right, next, going with my friend Zayden. Zayden, how are you? Do you need anything? What's up with you?
We're doing good so far.
Doing good so far. Awesome. Do you need anything? Is there anything that you need?
I think I'm all set.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. All right, great. Next is Eileen. Eileen, how are you, and do you need anything? Sorry, Eileen, can you say that again? How are you doing? Sorry, the audio is a little funky. I just can't hear you. Can you type in the chat? Good. Okay. Awesome. All right. Nash, how are you doing? Do you need anything? Oh, sorry, you're still muted. How are you doing? Good. All right, and then obviously, anything else though besides that computer issue? All right. And Vic, how are you doing? Is there anything you need? What's up?
Just a little tired.
You're just a little tired? Okay, is there anything that you need?
No.
No, you're good. Okay, good. All right, so I'm just gonna remute everyone. All right, we're gonna review our homework. So let's hop over there to Edulastic. Remind me later. Put that down for now. Okay, just gotta log in. Give me 1 minute. Okay. My assessments, and we're going to take a look at history homework. We're going to preview this. All right. So question number 1 was, what was the colonial period? And what did we say for this? You guys can have your packets out. Anybody know what was the colonial period? And we can pull up the our notes, our annotations. I'm going to pull up my own colonial era in India. So what was the colonial era? And we can look right at the top here, and this is where we're going to find our answer. So when you have it, let me know. Raise your hand. So again, we're looking for what was the colonial era, and you're going to find it in this first little portion here. So once you find what was the colonial era or the colonial period, right, I want you guys to raise your hands or give me a thumbs up. All right, Zayden's giving me a thumbs up. I'm gonna wait for 2 more people to give me thumbs up, and then we can move on. Okay, Nash gave me a thumbs up, and Leon gave me a thumbs up. Okay, perfect. So Zayden, since you were the first to give me a thumbs up, can you let me know what was the colonial period?
Colonial period means a period during which Western countries ruled India.
Okay, perfect. So that's all I wanted you guys to write for this one. So colonial period was period during which Western countries, and you could add in like Britain, ruled over India. Right, that's all I was looking for that one. All right, next. All right, read me to Liana. The name of the company that was started in the 1600s was called what?
The British East India Company.
Perfect, lovely. All right, Nash. Who was Robert Clive?
He was in the mid-70s.
Okay, so Robert Clive was. Can you repeat that?
He was in the mid-70s.
Let's go back here. In the mid 1700s, Robert Clive. Can you read from there? Do you see where my cursor is?
led the company to an expanded influence in India
Perfect.
with
No, that's all I wanted. Right. So was the leader of the British East India Company, and oversaw the increased influence of India over other countries. Right, so that's all I was looking for your homework. Oh. Countries. Perfect. All right. Next, what happened in the 100 years after the Battle of Plassey? So we're going to go back in. We're going to find that right here. Victor, can you read this for me? What I just highlighted?
In the 100 years after the battle, the East India Company conquered the entire subcontinent of India.
Perfect, right? So in the 100 years after this battle, the Battle of Plassey, right, this company, this East Indian Company, took over the entire subcontinent of India, right? And so that's what I wanted to see for your answer here. So in the 100 years after the battle, the British East India Company completely took over the subcontinent of India. Perfect. Okay. And our last question was a multiple choice question. Eileen, I'm going to go to you for this one. How did the East India Company conquer the entire subcontinent? Right, and I give you guys a few options here, but let's look back in our colonialism. Eileen, I'm just going to stop your video for right now because I think it's going to help with your audio, okay? All right. So, how did they do this, right? How did they conquer India? And our answer is going to be right here. Eileen, can you read that for us? Oh, the audio isn't working. That's okay. I'll read it.
There.
Oh, there you are. Okay, perfect. We can read like that. So they
did this by what?
Trade, political intrigue, political intrigue, and military action.
They did this
Trade, yep. Political intrigue,
and
direct military action. Okay, good.
And military action.
Perfect. All right. So,
Trade.
yep. So A was our correct answer.
And political action. Military action.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Eileen. All right, I'm gonna throw us all back on mute. So 3 of the questions were manually graded, which means I have to grade them, right? So if you got, but there's 2 multiple choice. So if you got these 2 multiple choice, right, it would say if you got those right or wrong, and then these ones I have to grade myself, right? And total score is out of 7. So I will be grading those today. You guys can, will be able to see those by the end of the day to see how we did. Now,
Miss Solup.
Yes, what's up, sweetheart?
So, Miss Solup, I think I did it, but it got me to a lower percent. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Vic, remember how I told you I have to grade them? So like it only grades the ones that are multiple choice. For the ones that you write, I have to grade those personally.
Okay.
Right. And so even if you don't get like, you know, like 100%, it's just for writing things, it's because I personally grade them.
Okay.
Right. So the computer can't grade them on their own, on its own.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So we're back looking at our reading. So we had stopped right about here. We haven't talked about the mutiny yet, I don't think. So these were the 5 questions I had you answer for homework. Right, and we had some more questions up to question number 12. Can you guys get these 2 packets out, your colonialism reading and then the comprehension questions? I'll give you a few seconds to do that. All right, so we're going to begin right down here where it says but in 1857. You guys all see where I'm at? Give me a quick thumbs up. Quick thumbs up if you see where we are right here. I'm gonna turn my, I guess I could just annotate on the page. Give me a quick thumbs up if we're good. Okay, thanks Nash. Okay, great. Awesome. Eileen, are we good?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so we just talked about how they took over and that they were very good at what they did, right? So now we're at but in 1857, the Indian Mutiny almost destroyed the company's rule of India. Right, now this is important because this is actually an answer to one of our comprehension questions. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna highlight that, right? We're gonna make a comment that is comprehension question 6. Right, because we wanna remember that. So I'm gonna make that comment right there. Now afterwards, after all that, the British government took control away from the company. In 1858, India became part of the British Empire, and Queen Victoria became the Empress of India. Now I'm going to highlight that in another color because that's actually the answer to question number 7. So that's comprehension question number 7. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a minute to write those 2 down. You guys writing these down? Yes, Vic.
I think I have it. I think I have it on my paper, Mister. Not on the Google Doc, but on my paper.
On your paper? Okay, can you read me what you have?
Which question?
For question number 6.
In what event almost destroyed the company's rule of India? What happened afterwards? In 1857, the Indian Mutiny almost destroyed the company ruled India. I think I have it down.
Perfect. Thank you, Vic. And then can you read me for number 7?
Who was the Queen Victoria? What happened during 1858? Queen Victoria became the Empress of India.
All right, perfect. Yep, that's awesome. All right, guys, are we still writing? All right, if we're still writing, that's fine. We should have answered up to question number 7. So tonight for homework is going to be questions 8, 9, and 10 if you haven't already finished them. And I'll post that on Edge Elastic at the end of the day. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to switch gears and we're going to move into ELA. All right, so we've been talking about Julius Caesar for a while now. Now, we had did we finish? Yes, okay, so we had gotten to here, and right now we were at the analysis. Does that make sense? That's where we are? Okay, so now we're going to do some analysis of Julius Caesar, just switching gears. So right now, a second ago, we were doing some world history. Now we're going to jump into ELA. Oh, and I did have a quote for us. So let's go to our quote. I'm going to view that. Present. Victor, can you read this quote for us if you don't mind?
Yeah. Reading gives us some place to go, and then we have to stay where we are.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So obviously right now with everything going on in the world, right, we're kind of a little bit stuck at home. And what this quote is telling us is essentially that when we are stuck, right, when we have to stay where we are, reading is one of the things that we can do to try to get to be someplace else, right? So it gives us someplace to go, right? We can read a book and we can get lost in it, right? We can try to travel to a new world, right, in our imaginations and our brains. And I just thought that was important, especially for what's going on in the world today and in this particular moment right now. It might be good to read. And you guys have access to some like audiobooks. And so even if you didn't feel like sitting down and reading a book, you could listen to one. And we can talk about those resources a little bit more in office hours if you are interested in listening to some audiobooks. I think reading is a great thing to do. It's great to, get our minds off of what's going on. You don't have to read necessarily something that's like for school. You can just read for fun, right? And something that's like your choice. So I think that would be a good idea. So if you guys have any questions about that, we can talk after this in office hours. All right, now on to what we were doing. So right now we're talking about analysis, right? And when you analyze something, right, that means you are looking at it very deeply, right? You're thinking about everything that's going on and you're kind of trying to see why what's happening is happening, right? And so this is just a little bit about analysis. So the play is so much about the characters' thoughts and ambitions, right? So I'm right at the top here. You guys see this, where I am? Right, so this play is a lot about what characters are thinking, right? And their ambition, right? What motivates them. their goals, right? We can, oh, here. I'm gonna move you guys down here. And ambitions is just a fancy word to say goals. Nope. Does that work? All right, perfect. Okay. So ambitions are like your goals. Okay, great. Sorry, I'm just playing around with this a little bit. All right, so following is what you should know about each of these characters at this point in the play. Liana, can you read me this first one about Julius Caesar?
Caesar is too stubborn to listen to one of the say-so. He dismissed his warning as nonsense. We also find out that Caesar loves and trusts Anthony, but he does not trust Cassius as all, even though Anthony said there is nothing to worry about.
Okay, great. So we learned some things about Caesar, right? He's very stubborn, which means that once he thinks something, right, it's very hard to get him to change his mind.
Is it stubborn one of our vocab words?
I think it's been one of our vocab words in the past, Liana. So Caesar is too stubborn. He doesn't listen to the soothsayer who's saying that something bad is going to happen to him. He thinks that the soothsayer is just crazy. So we also find out that Caesar loves and trusts Anthony, right? That's his best friend. But he does not trust Cassius, right? He doesn't like Cassius because he says he's too, I think he says he's like, he's too tall, too thin, and he thinks too much or something like that. All right, great. Thank you, Liana. Vic, can you read Mark Antony for us?
Mark Antony will do anything for Caesar loyalty. Evidence of this is when Caesar says, do this, it is performed.
Awesome. So we know Mark Antony is Caesar's best friend, right? And he will do anything for Caesar, right? He is loyal. He is a good friend. And so he says when Caesar tells him to do something, he does it, right? Because he's just that good of a friend to Caesar. All right. Zay, can you read us Brutus?
Brutus loves Caesar, but he loves Rome more than Caesar.
And
hold on, Zayden. The audio is kind of cutting. Oh, Zayden, can you hold up for a sec? The audio is like cutting out, so we can't really hear you. Can you try again? Just start from here.
He loves Rome more than Caesar.
All right, Zay, we can't really hear you, buddy.
Would be bad for Rome.
Okay. Oh, that was better. Okay, so keep going.
So since he loves Rome so much, he feels like there is something he could do to stop Caesar from becoming king.
Okay, good. All right, Zayden, I think I'm going to take over just because it's the audio quality is really tough. It's really tough to hear. All right, so basically what he's saying is Brutus really loves Caesar, right? But he loves Rome more than he loves Caesar. And he doesn't think that Caesar is going to be a good king. So since he loves Rome so much, he feels that there's something he should do to stop Caesar from becoming king, right? And we see some of Brutus's internal thoughts, right? Brutus thinks that he is noble, right? He is ethical and he thinks he's a good person. Most other people of Rome feel the same way at this point in time, right? What do you guys think? Do you think Brutus is a good person? Do you think he is noble? Liana, what do you think? Do you think Brutus is a good person?
I mean, Rome loved him, like they respected him.
So he must be good, right? If Romans like him, right? I agree, right? Okay, perfect. We're gonna move on to Cassius. So Cassius is sneaky and manipulative, right? Which means he makes people do things. That they might not want to do. Can we all see that? Right, that's what manipulative means. Yep. Delete that. Okay, so he's sneaky and manipulative. He makes people do things that they might not want to do, or he makes people do things without even, maybe that they don't even realize, right, what he's trying to do. Okay, so if we have to break it down, what's one thing we can say about Caesar? Liana, you were the one that read Caesar. So, Liana, what's one thing you know about Caesar?
He's stubborn and he's not listening to the Sire's warning.
Perfect. So he's stubborn and doesn't listen.
Hey, Miss Driscoll just emailed me saying that she wants to join into Zoom.
She wants to join this Zoom?
I don't know.
Okay, can you send the email to me?
Yeah, if I could try to do it.
Okay. All right. Victor, what do we know about Mark Antony?
A loyal person to Caesar.
He's loyal to Caesar. Perfect. All right. Zayden, what do we know about Brutus? What type of person is he? You can also just put it in the chat if the audio isn't working. You can also type in the chat if you're having issues with the audio. Sorry, what's up? Oh, Jada, there you are. All right, Zayden, we can't really hear you at all. Can you just tell me in the chat what Brutus is like? Yep. Can you just, Zayden, can you just type it in the chat? What is Brutus like?
I think I would.
Do you know how to type in the chat, Zayden? Can you just type to me in the chat? Tell me, what is Brutus like? There you are. Okay, perfect. So Zayden said, I would describe him as noble, which is exactly. So noble and a good person. All right, so I'm gonna scroll down. Now, what about Cassius? Nash, can you tell me a little bit about Cassius? What kind of person is he?
He's a mean person.
Maybe he's mean. What does he do to people?
He's rude to them.
Okay, so maybe he is rude to people and manipulative, right? That's what we said. He's manipulative. He gets people to do things for him, right? He manipulates people into doing things, right? Like at the beginning, when he's having that conversation with Brutus, right? He's manipulating Brutus into running against Caesar, right? And into getting into this plot. All right, guys, give me just 1 sec. Sorry. Okay. All right, so let's write this down if we don't already have it. Spend another 30 seconds doing that. I'll be right back. Get some water.
Hi, Liana.
What's up?
Liana.
All right, sorry about that, guys. So we're writing this down. Vic, you already got this down? Yep. Awesome, you already wrote it. That's awesome, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Nash, you writing this down?
I wrote it down already.
Oh, you already have it down. Okay, cool. Eileen, you writing this?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys, let's take maybe 1 more minute just to finish getting this down for everybody.
So I have a question.
Sure, go for it.
So, my mom said my mom said the reading teacher emailed her or like text her on the voice thing, and she said that she's gonna be with me on reading today, but
Okay.
I didn't see her email yet, yesterday or today.
Okay, do you know what time?
My mom said 12, but I didn't see the email of the Zoom.
You don't have the Zoom? Okay, let me shoot her an email real quick.
Okay.
All right, guys. So if we're done with this, did we finish? Everyone give me a thumbs up or just say yes if we finished. Maybe. You want to say hi to my kids?
Nope. It's cold out here.
Is it?
It's like 68.
I'm comfortable. All right. Thank you, Eileen. All right, sorry, I'm just sending this email to Ms. Conahan. Great, that's all set. Liana, why are you wearing sunglasses?
Huh?
Why are you wearing sunglasses?
I don't know. I like wearing glasses.
You goofy. All right. Sorry, I muted you. All right. So after that, so now we know where all our characters are at, right? Where they're at in their minds and their brains. We know what they're thinking. We know what kind of people they are, right? So this was scene 3 that we're moving on to. So we're going to read through this. We're going to answer some questions, and then that will be it for class today. All right. So let's start off. So I'm going to read. Can everyone hear me okay? Because I know sometimes the audio gets a little weird. All right. Zayden's giving me a thumbs up. Liana gave me a thumbs up. Nash gave me a thumbs up. Victor gave me a thumbs up. Eileen, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So someone's emailing me. Hold on. Someone said something in the chat, so I'm just trying to read it. Oh, the stupid box come up. All right, there it is. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you, Jada. All right, so the weather is stormy on the streets of Rome. Now I'm going to put an little line under stormy. And then I'm going to reposition it. Right. And when we read this, right, we said it almost had like a supernatural vibe. On the streets of Rome. Casca is talking here. I'm going to change. Can I change the font in this? Because it looks very much like the font for the actual story. So I want to change that. Can I? No? Okay. All right, perfect. So I'm gonna do put a little dot here just so you guys know that's just an annotation that I made. Okay. Still figuring this out. Okay, so there's a supernatural vibe going on in the streets of Rome. Casca is talking to Cicero. So we're going to circle the names, right? We have Casca. This is too big. How do I resize this? Oh, sorry, guys. Why am I so bad at technology? Okay, Casca, perfect, is talking to Cicero. All right. He is upset because he has seen some strange things. Oh, sorry. Let's move that up a little bit. All right, so Casca is talking to Cicero. Casca is upset because he has seen some strange things, right? Including a slave with fire coming from his hand, a lion walking around the streets, and an owl, which is a night bird, howling during the day. Casca believes all of these strange things, including that the stormy weather are signs that the gods are not happy and that they are bad omens, or a sign that something good or bad is going to happen, right? And oftentimes omen is associated with something bad is going to happen. All right, are we taking these annotations down? Make sure we're getting these down. And then my first question to you is, why is Casca upset? Nash, I'm going to bounce to you. Why do you think Casca is upset?
Because something good or bad is gonna happen.
Okay, because something good or bad happened, right? There are strange things going on. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. You guys can still take down those annotations if you need to. But here's our answer to that first question on the page, is that there are bad things going on. Or sorry, there are strange things going on. There are some omens. They think something bad is going to happen. Okay, writing this down. We have about 2 minutes left. Few minutes left. All right, guys, and that brings us to our last 30 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna stop sharing in a minute. I'm gonna end this stream, and then I'll start up a new stream for our office hours in case anybody has any questions, or if anything's going on. All right. Jada, if you could join me in office hours just so we can talk through what happened and try to diagnose what's going on in that situation. For homework, I would like you guys to do this summary continued part. So read this and then answer the 3 questions that it asks. And again, I'll post that on Edulastic along with the history homework. All right. We good?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm going to quit my screen share. And I'm going to end this meeting, but feel free to join me in office hours. Thank you very much.